All right. Welcome back to the Malapert Smark Podcast. On today's show, Seth and Punk's steel cage match ruined by Roman Reigns. Charlotte and Tiffany have a wild pull apart on SmackDown. And will MJF join the Hurt Syndicate? And much, much more. But for these topics, I got two of the best wrestling experts on the internet today. One of them is the wrestling expert, Vlad, the wrestling expert.
Great to be here as always. I haven't missed a show yet, and I don't plan to. I'm a real Cal Ripken type of thing going here. I don't plan to ruin it.
Glad to have you back. Robert, the Frozen Asian, also is here. Welcome.
What's up? Glad to be here too.
All right, man. Wrestling, yeah. Kind of a week, would you say? I don't know. We're doing Monday through Sunday from last week. And no Cena, no Rock again this week. So Raw and SmackDown.
I think there just wasn't any pay-per-views or anything like that kind of put it all together. But it was a pretty decent week, I thought, overall. There's some things that happened, but yeah, just no pay-per-views. And I think that's maybe why it seems slower.
You would call it a regular week. All right, Robert, would you call it a regular week, or would you say it was a little below average, especially for WrestleMania season? Come on.
I'd say it was pretty uneventful.
Yeah, me too.
Not the worst week, but...
Except for NXT, which we might mention.
NXT was great.
A little later on, yeah, but that's another story.
NXT was great.
We're not doing any NXT on today's show. We're going to cover just the WWE main roster and the AEW for a little bit, and we got a classic review coming up of WWF in 1996. We're continuing our journey through late 1996 after SummerSlam. The playlist with the whole thing, if you've missed any of it, is in the description below. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm a little flustered because I'm tired, man. I've been at work all day, and I just ran home, and we started this podcast, and I've been run ragged. I've been doing a lot of stuff lately, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I live streamed a few times in the middle of the week, a couple times this week. I did a big show on Wednesday morning before Dynamite where I reviewed everything from AEW from the weekend. So Ring of Honor, Collision, and Revolution, and it turned out to be like a 4-hour stream.
Oh,
I know. And my guest on the show that day was, because you guys weren't available from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., my guest was my dog, the Malapert Smark Hall of Famer, the Sacred Princess Allura. Say hello.
Oh, beautiful.
There she is. Yep. Well, I spent 2 hours trying to get the lights right and, put the cameras up in the right position to catch her walking around and stuff. So for 2 hours, I was just trying to prepare for the stream. And then I started streaming. So then there was 4 hours after that. So that was a heavyweight stream, and I went through a lot of storylines there. But today we're just doing the best of the week. So that day I went through every single storyline and I watched everything. But for today I've chosen the top topics of the week, I guess, and I emailed you guys earlier the topics list. So we got a handful of topics from modern wrestling, and then we'll go do our classic stuff afterwards. So all right, let's get started. Where are we starting today? I got my blog out. This is the official Malapert Smark blog for episode 152. Sunday night, and we're doing all of WWE and AEW from March 10th through March 16th for records purposes. But we're going to start on topic number 1 today. It's the return of Roman Reigns. This is from Monday Night Raw, March 10th, this past Monday. So you guys are probably watching this maybe in the morning before Raw. So this could be like your Raw pre-show. And we'll see if we get any follow-up to this. But Roman Reigns crashes Punk and Rollins' steel cage match, leaves them both laying. And by the way, Seth Rollins won the match, which kind of turned out to be an afterthought after what happened at the end. But let's go through our reviews for it, and then I'll go through what happened and get some thoughts from you guys. So, sorry, which storyline number was this? Did I write? Storyline number 2. All right. This is our blog, by the way. We've already reviewed all the storylines from this Monday Night Raw. So that's in the description below if you guys are interested in that. Yeah, what do we got for reviews? I got thumbs ups from Vlad and Robert. What about that? You guys like this, all right? I got a half thumbs up. I'll make comments after we show some highlights, but all right, so let's pull up some clips. I don't have that many images because I'm mostly going to skip that steel cage match. I'm not going to show all of it. or really much details from it at all. Do you have any comments just on the match, like before we get to the finish from it? I'll start with Vlad. I'll go through some slides just of the match. Lots of false finishes, huh?
I was going to say that exactly. I think it was a great match, but I think it was a little bit slightly AEW-ish with the false finishes. Guys getting their finishing move, kicking out. It was getting repetitive. I think it was a little much.
But the work was good.
The work was very good. The match, that was my biggest issues with it because otherwise it was a tremendous match. Like they really were great and used the cage sensationally well. I just didn't like all the kickouts. I don't think it's really necessary either, to be honest. Cornette says he didn't mind it, but I mean Cornette is a little bit biased. He loves Punk, so he's not going to say that it was whether that was an issue or not. But for me, it was a slight issue. It was the first thing I thought of as the match was like progressing. Like, dude, okay, we get it. Your guys are going to kick out of every finishing move. But anyways, all right, I'll leave it at that.
Robert, before I go over the finish and exactly what happened and how the match ended, do you have any comments on the match itself?
Kind of the same thought as Vlad. There were too many kickouts. So I remember on last Sunday when I was reviewing Revolution, one of my complaints about the Kyle Fletcher Will Ospreay match, even though I still loved it, was there were too many kickouts.
Yeah.
And then literally one day later, I see this kind of the same thing happening in this match. At least the Fletcher Ospreay match was on a pay-per-view, I guess. but still, like seeing the same thing happen like 2 nights in a row, I was like, come on, that is kind of ridiculous. But otherwise, it was still a really good match.
All right, so the ending came when I think Punk had a chance to leave. This is another thing I hate. Historically, when I was a kid, when I used to watch steel cage matches, and they had these matches where the door is open and all you have to do is just leave the cage. Like, I don't like that as a finish for the match. Like, the goal is you got to leave. Like, CM Punk here, he has, like, a chance to leave. He could just walk out. And then Seth Rollins, like, says some shit to him, right? And he tells him, like, do you want to finish this for real? I forgot exactly what he said, but, like, be a man, earn this right now. So Punk kind of gets goaded back in with verbiage. Punk looks at him, and then they start fighting again. And then when they have a little scuffle, then they continue, and Seth Rollins gets the best of him. Then this time, Seth Rollins has a chance to leave the cage, but he doesn't look like he wants to do it either, because I think they both wanted to see who was going to be, like, the real winner, right? In this, I don't think anyone wanted to escape the cage. They were going to stay there until there was a pinfall. That was the goal, right? That seemed like that was. Am I wrong? I think that's where it was headed. So
I think so.
Roman Reigns coming in and grabbing him. By the way, the crowd popped pretty hard. Like, I know the camera didn't want to give it away, but like the crowd gave away that there was something going on. Like, and then that's when we get Roman grabbing Seth and just pulling him out of the cage, basically, and that's how Seth technically, quote unquote, wins the match. So that's the conclusion of the match right there. Ding, 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 ding. And then Roman Reigns is back. So we haven't seen him since they had this three-way fight at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, these same 3 guys. So I guess Roman's been hurt, and now he's back for revenge. And he kicks Seth Rollins' ass on the outside, and then he sees CM Punk in the ring after that, which is weird to me because I thought they were allies since War Games. Or did CM Punk eliminate Roman? Was that what happened at the?
Correct. He did. He eliminated both.
Okay, so that's probably why Roman has a little bit of a reason to have beef. But okay, so Paul Heyman's in the ring with Roman, or with CM Punk, excuse me, and then Roman doesn't care and he goes in and he rams CM Punk into the fencing of the steel cage. So, all right, comments. I'll start with Robert, who gave this segment a thumbs up. So let's hear your thoughts on this.
Oh, okay. The only reason why I didn't give it more than I like this a lot, the match and what happened afterwards. I just gave it only 1 thumbs up again because of the too many false finishes during the match.
Yeah.
But the rest of the match was great, and you know what? I'm glad to see Roman back. I mean, Look, man, this guy main evented WrestleMania, what, how many years in a row now? At least 3, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It would have been really weird if he just didn't appear all of a sudden for this WrestleMania. So I'm glad he's back. He definitely deserves a prominent spot on the card. So yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a triple threat, which is one of the possibilities that we had discussed before, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Vlad, you as well. You've given much higher ratings than thumbs ups recently, so I guess I will have to say just a thumbs up.
I see. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the reason it's just a thumbs up is while I'm glad Roman is back and I want him to be part of WrestleMania, I don't want a triple threat. I think Seth and CM Punk should handle their own business because that really is the main feud. And Roman probably should have worked with someone else. I don't know who. I mean, to me,
Drew McIntyre. Yeah, that's why I kind of am disappointed in this too. So
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
You're right. Drew is probably the perfect opponent for him, given what Drew was saying all these months. About the bloodline, the family, and whatever the heck, everything that they've done to him, everything they cost him, all that stuff, right? So yeah, that's what I would have done. But I'm glad Roman's there, and it was a cool moment to end the cage match, which was a very good match. Like I said, had the issues with the false finishes consistently, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a pretty. I mean, when you talk about stars, Roman, Punk, and Seth those are like 3 of their biggest stars all in one match. So it will be interesting. Obviously, it'll be a star-studded match. Triple threats are always difficult. Like, it's hard to have a really good one. There have been some in the history of wrestling, but obviously they're not my favorites. So yeah, that's why it's only one thumb up.
All right. Well, me too. I gave it half a thumbs up. I kind of like this. I like it because obviously everyone involved. It's crazy. It's amazing. But my disappointment in it is that this is the nail in the coffin that for sure now we're going to get this triple threat match. Yeah. Instead of what I was hoping for, which was Drew McIntyre versus Roman, which I felt like made the most sense and that was built up really well. And Drew's been doing great. So I don't see why not, but okay, they want to do this, okay.
But I mean, I think we already knew that Drew was working with Priest because...
Yeah, we knew that, but, I guess we did know that. We did know that, but so this is really...
We knew you couldn't have been working Roman.
Yeah, no, definitely. But, I guess I thought Roman... We didn't even know if Roman was coming back. I don't know.
That's true, too. We didn't know. We did not know 100%. That's true.
Okay. All right, well, let's move along then. Let's see what we got next. Let's move on to our next topic when we go back to the blog post. Topic number 2. I guess we're sticking on Raw. All right, so topic number 2 from March 10th. Storyline number 4 from our blog, which is in the description below. If you guys haven't read our blog post, we reviewed every single storyline already. Thumbs up, thumbs down, me, Vlad, and Robert. It's been posted, but in case you missed it, I post a link in the description below also. So let's go through this. So let's go to storyline number 4 on the blog post. We got Io slaps the shit out of both Bianca and Rhea. That's the title. That's the headline. But let's see. I got 2 thumbs ups from me and Robert. So me and Robert really, really liked this, and Vlad liked it. So not a bad rating. But okay, I guess I should go through some images of this. I'm already on Raw, so it won't be hard for me to pull this one up. Let's see. How did this go down? Let's give the women some time on our show. This is for the world title. This is a world title feud, right? So Io Sky, after her big win over Rhea 1 week later, gets some time in the ring to get interviewed and highlighted, focused upon, So Michael Cole is out there to interview her, and there she goes cutting a promo, right, Vlad? Io's...
Yeah. If that's what you want to call her ramblings, yes, that's what that was.
Well, she's the not heavyweight, but basically the world heavyweight champ, the world champion of the women, and she has to talk in the ring. Whether you think she's a good speaker or not, they have to give her the time to talk because she deserves it. She won. So there you go. She said she was over the moon to win this title, right, guys? So out comes Bianca, who also gets introduced, and you know, what's his name? Michael Cole asks her, "Do you think if you weren't there that Rhea would have won?" And she doesn't really answer the question. She skirts around the question, but that Rhea does come out. So Rhea asks her. Rhea does say there was no reason for Bianca to be there. Bianca says she did have a reason to be there because she's facing the winner.
That's true.
So Rhea was like, "Nah, you shouldn't have even been there. The only reason you were there was to sabotage me," is what she says basically. I'm paraphrasing here, but
Right.
so they get in each other's face and they're very dismissive of Io. Io's there, but fucking Rhea pie faces her, and then what's her name? The same thing, Bianca. So she pushes her out of the way as well, and that's when Io's had enough. She will not be neglected in this whole thing, right? So she grabs Rhea and then just fucking whacks her in the face, bam! But Rhea sure like stuck her face out there, right? She's like, she gave her a good target, as Cornette would say. She was not, I don't know, that was a little unrealistic to stick your face out so far. So this is her slapping Bianca. I think she's gonna reach way back.
Yeah, that one was really good.
When she slaps someone, she pulls her hand all the way back, and then bam!
That was a good one.
That was great. I love how she just did it like all out. That was an all-out slap. So Rhea's over there in the corner selling, like, damn, this bitch is crazy, you know, or they wouldn't believe that she would do that, right? So this scene obviously puts Io Sky over, the girl that Vlad has been saying shouldn't have even been in this.
No.
I think Robert said that too, right? So
Well, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
well, who wants to start on this? Robert, you go ahead. Let's see.
Okay,
What do you think of this? What's going on? 2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah. I mean, I still stand by what I had said the previous week, where Bianca versus Rhea should have been, the way to go for WrestleMania, right? Having said that, this segment was hilarious. I just really enjoyed it.
It was.
It was just entertaining. Like it was. I don't know if this is like an indirect way of WWE's indirect way of addressing how basically what people like me are feeling about this matchup, or what we really want to see is Bianca versus Rhea, and then Io seems to be kind of like an afterthought in this feud, and then she has to kind of like force her way into the conversation basically. I don't know. Even though I'm not agreeing with the booking, this segment on its own was hilarious, so I enjoyed it.
Vlad, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Robert that it was hilarious. When she slapped them both, I laughed. And then she did this weird thing at the end where she started like jumping up and down. I didn't understand what the hell she was even doing. I just think it was more comical, and that's why I gave it 1 thumb up. I thought I enjoyed it.
Only a thumbs up.
Well, but I enjoyed it. It was hilarious. I laughed. I liked it. All right. But obviously, cool. I don't think she should be involved in this. Not because she's not a good worker or anything like that. It's just she doesn't have the star power. I mean, and that's really what it comes down to. And now we have another triple threat match. So we just talked about a triple threat that we're going to have, and now we're talking about another triple threat. So I'm not, again, not a big fan of these triple threats. I think most of the WrestleMania matches should be one-on-one. And here we go. Why is Io in here? It's still the question that I don't understand. But, all right, it is what it is, and I enjoyed the segment. Cool.
All right, cool. Let's move along to our next one. Let's see what we got next. I'm moving back to the blog post. So that was topic number 2. Let's see, topic number 3. What did I write down? We're just going in order of what I wrote down earlier today while I was at work. This is from SmackDown. Okay. Charlotte's victorious return is short-lived as massive pull-apart with Tiffany ensues. Okay, so let's move on to our SmackDown review. Once again, if everyone wants our review of every storyline from SmackDown, I put a link in the description of our blog post. Let me go down to storyline number 3 over here as we get a glimpse of some other storylines that we're not going to talk about, but we have already reviewed. But let's see. So, what's her name has a match with BFAB, right?
Charlotte. Really? That's the one you couldn't remember. You remembered BFAB, but you remember Charlotte Flair. But BFAB, you knew, no problem. That's the one you like. BFAB is the one you like. Charlotte Flair, whatever her name is.
Well, BFAB has been around more recently. Like, I have written more reviews on BFAB recently than Charlotte, because Charlotte's been gone for a while. But okay, so Charlotte wins that match. It was a warm-up match, a return match, whatever you want to say. She hasn't really had a match since she's come back from injury, other than the Royal Rumble itself. So she makes BFAB tap out. But Tiffany runs out right afterwards, so she was ready for a fight. What happened before this that Tiffany was so... Oh, yeah, Charlotte jumped her. I remember now. This was last Friday. The Friday before this, Charlotte jumped her, beat the crap out of her, left her laying. So basically, they had a wild fight. And I think Vlad made a comment in his review post saying that, what did you call this? A overused wrestling trope? Like the crazy pull apart or whatever.
The pull apart has been killed to death. Yes, but yes, I understand why they do it. But man, they do it a lot when they're trying to get something over. Of course, this one was a little bit like more. It was longer, and they did some outside moves. This
one was extra. It had extra dives, all kinds of dives. Tiffany had a bunch of dives.
Yes. She
was diving all over the place.
Yeah. What's the word that she dived from? Like this. What do they call that? Where it had the Smackdown logo on it or something? I don't know what they call it.
At the entrance ramp. Yeah, I've never seen anyone jump off that. That was the first time that I seen anyone up there for that.
I'm sure it's happened. But anyways.
I think it's this one. This is the one. Well, so they kept coming back to them. I think they even went to a commercial break, and they were still fighting with each other.
Yeah, like the Miz was about to start his thing, and then that's when this thing was still going.
Yeah. Miz TV was coming out for, I think he was supposed to interview Cody Rhodes, right? So
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Well, we got comments from Vlad. Robert, any comments from you on this whole... Well, let me see your reviews. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the review sheet over here. Let's see. I got a thumb and a half. I gave it 1 thumb and 1/2 a thumb. And Vlad and Robert gave it a thumb. A thumbs up. So I liked it, but I stopped short of really, really liking it. So I thought it was a little over the top, a little unrealistically over the top, I guess. It was a little cartoonish how they just kept coming back to each other. But, I still liked it, though. I think they were trying to make it seem like this is an extra intense pull apart, right, compared to other ones. Because it kept going for way longer than it usually does. So, Robert, so you gave it a thumbs up. All right. Do you have any extra thoughts on this?
I liked it. I just thought it was maybe went a little too long, and then the fact that Tiffany Stratton did the Swanton twice.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, one was cool, but all right, she did it.
I think she did it like 3 times, or she did another dive or something like that. I don't even know. She was diving all over the place. I can't remember how many it was. There might have been more than 2, but
I think okay. I thought she only did it twice. I know Charlotte jumped off the table at one point.
Okay.
But yeah. So I thought one dive from Tiffany would have been enough. She didn't have to do 2 of them. Because then both times they were just like that whole crowd was just there to break her volley both times. I don't know. It was just one too many times, but it was cool. I still like it.
But do you think this is a worthy scene as a WrestleMania build-up scene for a WWE title match?
It's fine. It's just they could have kept it shorter. That's all.
Sure. All right. What about you, Vlad? Do you think this is a worthy WrestleMania build-up segment for Tiffany Stratton? Is this making her famous, working with Charlotte like this?
Oh, well, yes. Of course, I thought it was a worthy segment for their feud. But, there were obviously issues with it. A, it ran too long. B, it got ridiculous. One of the flips that Tiffany didn't even land on Charlotte. She just hit security. And you
Oh yeah.
you tell me these 12 security guys can't pull these two women apart? Like, I mean, I understand when it's like if it's Strowman and Jacob Fatu, you can't pull apart. Okay, that actually I could believe. Okay, but these two women you can't pull apart. Okay, that I don't really believe.
Yeah, it's not realistic.
It's not realistic. Okay, not 12 guys can't figure out how to get these two women, pulled back to the locker room. Come on. But anyways, like I said, it's overused. This whole trope of just like pull apart fights, security coming out, security getting beat up. It's been done to death. I personally feel so.
You think they're doing that too much lately? Yeah, they just did it with CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
They do it all the time. WWE is more guilty of it than AEW, but.
Oh yeah, well Adam Pearce is always in there trying to break stuff up too backstage and stuff. So I'm sure there's a couple more that are slipping my mind.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot. There's been a lot.
It happens so much that I can't even remember it. It's just a normal thing. Security's got to come in. Well, there was a pull apart with MJF and Hangman Page last Wednesday.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
That was another one. So yeah, it happens all the time. Not just in WWE, but in AEW too. But okay, we got more topics to discuss. Let's move along with this. Let me pull off our TV and see what we got next. Topic number 4, I think we're on. And I think we're jumping to AEW. All right, so we're jumping to our homies over at AEW. 2 nights after Monday Night Raw last week, there was AEW Dynamite in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. So I got our MJF update. So that's what I'm calling this segment today. So I'm doing 2 storylines here. So there was 2 little things with him. One involved MVP, and one involved Hangman Page, which was a follow-up to their match. So MJF, Vlad, I mean, I believe he's still important enough to, kind of keep track of, highlight, focus every once in a while, see how it's going, because I was trying to come up for topics today on a relatively sparse week. So I decided to give MJF a segment, all right? So what do you think of that? Is that fine?
More than fine. He's the only thing in AEW that's worth talking about, or the only guy that I consider a legit star or potential to be a star if he was in the right situation, which he currently is not. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So yes, I'm fine covering what's his going on, or his updates, if you will.
All right, cool. So let's go. This is storyline number 8 and 5 we got. So let's run through our AEW Dynamite update review. By the way, if anyone needs to read this, it's in the description below. There's a link to it. So I'm going to start with the MVP stuff, okay? So we'll discuss Hangman Page, but he went out there to talk about Hangman Page, did MJF. I think he was going to continue on and give thoughts about what happened in their match and how he lost, but he got interrupted by MVP. So I got some images here. Let me pull this up for you guys. For you fine people, in case anybody hadn't seen this, if you have seen it, it's still nice to see some pictures, I think. But here comes MVP. So how do I describe or quickly summarize what MVP told him? Basically, they're friends, right? We saw them hug it out. I guess they have a little bit of a friendship history, legitimately. And MVP said he was proud of MJF and his all his accomplishments, but recently he has been struggling, obviously. And he kind of offered him a card to success, which is with the Hurt Syndicate, right? Which is kind of weird. I mean, I'll just say it. It's the first non-black person that he's given this card to. So I think
that's actually very true.
So, not to be racist or anything, but it's just pointing that out that's kind of what happened. But MVP before this, he gave his Hurt Syndicate guys the week off, right? Because they were successful at Revolution. They defended their title. So he told Lashley and Shelton, go take a vacation. I'll handle things this week. And this was the order of business he went after. So he used this chance to proposition MJF about literally joining the Hurt Syndicate. All right. I guess my question to you guys is, do you guys see any chance of this happening, and what do you think of that? So I'll start with Robert. You go ahead.
Okay. Is there a chance of this happening? I I would say the answer is yes. Do I hope it happens? No. I don't know. It makes sense from, I guess, from MVP's perspective to try to, make his faction stronger. I would want to approach MJF also, so it makes sense from that angle. But if I was in MJF's shoes, I wouldn't agree to it. I don't know. Personally, for me, MJF works better alone. So it's an interesting thought, but I just hope that he turns it down. But to answer your question about is there a chance? Sure. Stranger things have happened in wrestling, so it might, but I'd rather not.
All right, our ratings for this segment, by the way, this little storyline we got on Dynamite. Thumbs up from all three of us. Okay, so it seems to be an interesting proposition. All of us seem to be entertained and interested by this idea. So, Vlad, your thoughts on it?
Well, I agree with Robert with the point that he made that MJF worked better alone. He had that one group, I can't remember, but that was the one with FTR and Wardlow. That really could have been a great group, honestly, but just didn't really pan out. He works just by himself. He doesn't need anybody taking up promo time with him when he's in the ring, or anything like that, or take some of his shine away. He really doesn't need that. So I don't really see what kind of help the Hurt Syndicate could really give him in reality. Now, as far as story-wise and angle-wise, I don't know where they're going here, honestly, because I don't think he's going to join them. So I don't really know what the point of it is. They're both heels, I mean, obviously, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not seeing something here, and it makes me think that as I have been thinking with MJF's booking the last, basically since he resigned with the company, that it's kind of he's just floating. All right, he's just doing whatever. He's just doing a whole bunch of nonsense, and this seems to be a little bit more of that. Now, yes, I like the Hurt Syndicate a lot, but I'm not seeing how it works with MVP. I mean, excuse me, with MJF here. So I could be proven wrong, and they could turn out to have some kind of amazing angle coming here. I mean, I won't hold my breath because it's Tony Khan, but hey, it could happen. Stranger things have happened, I guess. But yeah, I guess it's a wait and see approach. But I'm not seeing any. I'm not really understanding it right now.
Man, I'm surprised to hear this from you guys because I haven't talked to you guys. I haven't talked to you guys. Yeah, I haven't talked to you guys at all this week, and on our review sheet, I see your comments here left blank, so I didn't really have much thoughts other than just a thumbs up. But yes, I mean, the way you see, the way you say, I don't see it. I totally see it. I see MJF walking in there with a beautiful, nice, amazing suit, hanging out with Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. Dude, the most professional looking guys in the company. Why would you not want to get in on that? The only guys who haven't gotten any on them, if you know what I'm saying, since they've been there, which is a miracle. How the hell could that happen? They are so professional, and they are so smart with their booking, and with MVP as their manager. And just them coming in looking all professional together, looking like $1 million, how could that hurt MVP? Ever. I don't see how associating with Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley can hurt anybody. So I like the idea. I think MJF should be in the Hurt Syndicate.
Okay, I mean, I guess my only point to that is look good in suits. All four guys would look good in suits. You already mentioned the fact that these are three black guys, and MJF is clearly not a black guy. I think we should, that's not controversial.
That adds to the comedy of it. That makes it look like that. He'll be like the Sami Zayn of the Bloodline or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. So he's going to be. So you're putting him. He's the comedic person.
It's not. He's not comedic.
He's just there to amuse us.
Sami Zayn was not there to just amuse everyone. Sami Zayn was not a clown.
He was for the longest time. He was there just to amuse us until he left that group.
Okay, but I'm not saying it would be amusing like that. It would be slightly amusing, but they would still be a badass group. MJF, Shelton, and Bobby Lashley. Come on, that's it right there, man.
I mean, I'll say this: I like it better than working with Jeff Jarrett when he was doing that, or when he was.
Oh, I guess, for sure.
You know, but actually, but I don't know if I liked it more than when he was working with Dustin. You know, I thought the Dustin thing actually had some legs. I know you can't really go that far with it because they're not really. Dustin really doesn't want to be featured. He wants to be like in the coaching thing, and I have mixed feelings on the whole Hangman thing of how that feud went. You know, I know you guys probably enjoyed it more than I did. So I don't know. I still kind of think his booking is directionless. You know, I don't really know where he's going, and this seems more like it, to be honest, more than anything. That's my opinion of it. But I if I'm proven wrong and something turns out well, I'll come on here and say it. You know, next week or in the next couple of weeks. But I'm not seeing this as something that's going to go over well.
All right, well, let me jump to the other storyline, because we are kind of covering everything from MJF in this topic. And on storyline number 8, which I listed as another storyline, it was the one with him and Hangman Page. So he originally went out to cut that promo, and he was going to start talking about his loss to Hangman Page somehow. Here it is. And he was basically saying he's not done with Hangman yet, before he got interrupted. But then the two met up backstage and they aired it out. And a very interesting little conversation they had backstage with... they basically kind of agreed to part ways, but the feud is like kind of still on hold. Like, we're not done with each other. We got to move on. We got to do stuff. And then Hangman was like, also mentioned something very interesting to MJF. He told him he saw like a kink in his armor and during the match that, you know, he does care about what the fans think, and that's a weakness of his. And he doubted whether Hangman would have, or he doubted whether MJF would have really lit him on fire last week. He said, I don't think he would have really done it. And then the thing that MJF said to him, I remember this conversation very vividly. I thought it was a very good one. But MJF said that I'm basically gonna go to the top, and I'm gonna keep rising to the top over and over and keep winning, and you're gonna keep slipping up, and the fans are gonna get tired of cheering for you. So he was like basically saying, I'm gonna get you back by just being successful, and by winning that title. So very interesting end to a feud, sort of. I thought it was interesting how they did it. So let me see our reviews for this one. Let's see, all three of us again, thumbs up. So we all like this again. Okay, so I don't know if anyone has any comments they want to give extra about just the Hangman stuff, the MJF and Hangman tying up of their feud, which is kind of on hold. So we talked about their match and MJF losing last week in the Revolution pay-per-view, so it was just an interesting booking that MJF lost, and this is how they continued it and kind of tied it up. I thought it was unusual. It's a way that I kind of haven't seen anyone do it before. So that's why I liked it. But, okay. Anyone have any comments on this? No one.
Not really. I mean, it was what it was. It was an okay segment. The backstage stuff was all right. It was okay. To me, it was just okay, and I gave it 1 thumbs up because I felt MJF, did have a pretty good retort to everything that Hangman was saying. So, yeah, it was cool. But yeah, I'm happy the feud. I'm actually happy the feud is over.
Yeah, I guess based on your ratings and your reviews, I guess I gather that you didn't feel that much from it. You liked it, but all right, fine. We'll move on. Robert, should I move on?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. That's all I have to say.
All right.
You described it well. I think they're essentially saying they're gonna keep their feud is on hold for now, but they're gonna keep an eye on each other. That was it.
Yeah, well, I am really looking forward to whenever that rolls around. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Sure. I think this was great, and I think it's going to be great again. So this is cool. Moving on. Last topic. So this is our last modern topic for the day before we go on to some classic stuff, I guess. So I got the AEW World Title update. So here we go. So we talked MJF, and I'll just mention quickly about the World Title. So this is 2 separate storylines as well on Dynamite. So let's jump to our review, and let me go to storyline number 3. So we got the fallout to the big ending, which Swerve Strickland, I guess, is our number 1 contender. I don't know what you guys think of that. And then I guess Cope, since he didn't lose clean, like, because it turned into a triple threat. Actually, he didn't even get pinned, so he deserves another shot too. So that's why he told Swerve, like, yeah, it might be me that you're facing. Moxley also is cut a promo on Cope saying that he underestimated him and that he won't do that next time. Right? He said he should have had him taken care of before Christian even jumped in there. So then there was another Christian thing, because I labeled this topic the fallout to the world title picture and what's going to happen next. But Christian I'm putting completely separately, because I don't think he's in this anymore. Whatever he says or not, he blew his title shot. We'll talk about that in a second. But before we talk about Christian, anyone have any comments on the whole situation with Cope and Edge and Moxley? Because Cope is fighting Moxley again this Wednesday in a street fight, right? So, anyone have any thoughts on this? Because on this day, you guys gave this. Let's see, me and Robert liked it. I like Moxley's promo. I think I'm kind of looking forward to this street fight, honestly. So I gave it a thumbs up. Robert gave it a thumbs up. Vlad indifferent. No thumbs up, no thumbs down. So thoughts on this stuff and the world title scene? Anybody want to give anything?
I do like Swerve, so I'm looking forward to the eventual Swerve versus, assuming it's gonna be Moxley. I don't think Cope's gonna go over Moxley in the street fight. I doubt that's gonna happen, but I mean, it was cool. I'm looking forward to it. And I like Moxley's promo also.
All right, Vlad, any thoughts you want to give? Because what's his name? Moxley did whack Swerve with a crowbar this past Saturday on Collision. I don't have clips of that, but I don't know if you guys saw that. So they're basically starting the feud between Swerve and Mox, which I think kind of leads into what Robert said, that he thinks Mox is going to win that match. Unless somehow it's going to be a three-way at the pay-per-view again, but I don't know. Okay. I mean, I kind of got that hint because Edge talked with Swerve. So I'm thinking if there's another inconclusive ending but it's a street fight. How could it be an inconclusive ending? I guess they could do whatever they want. I guess they could just bring the Death Riders and just have it be like a melee, like a tribal rules match or whatever. So that's going to be interesting. I think that'll be entertaining. I'm looking forward to that a little bit, I guess. I think it'll be better than their title match at Revolution, because it's also going to be Edge and Moxley, so they're going to do really stupid, crazy things in a street fight, you know. But okay, if anyone doesn't have any other thoughts about this, I'll move on to Christian.
Yeah, I think you should move on.
Who is completely fucked in this whole thing, because he cashed in his gauntlet for the gold. Gauntlet for the gold, or is it the gauntlet for? No, the casino gauntlet. Sorry, that's TNA. So, what's his name? Cashed in his title shot at the pay-per-view. Christian did, and he shows up and he starts making excuses. Oh, by the way, he was the first guy I noticed that actually told Renee that, like, acknowledged that she's related to Moxley, because Moxley choked him out, right? So he's like, I'm not going to be interviewed by you because you're related to Moxley, right? So this is like the first time I've seen anyone on the show actually mention that. So he starts talking, making excuses and shit, and even his own family members can't listen to it. Nick Wayne even said, no, man, you blew it. What happened to the plan? What happened to the plan? And then, what's his name? Christian gets in Nick Wayne's face. Yeah. Nick Wayne's mom again. We rehashed this whole thing, and Christian told Nick Wayne's mom to get out of his face, or else he's gonna make sure she's working the night shift at the Waffle Hut again. And then he dressed down Nick Wayne, although he did mention that he's gonna win that AEW title back somehow. He still thinks he's gonna win it somehow. So. What did we think of this whole thing? So this whole Christian thing is a separate side story, because I don't think he's going to get into that title picture, although he says he will. I really liked it. I'll give my reasoning why. So I gave it 2 thumbs up out of the 3 of us. I gave it the best rating. Robert, half a thumbs up. I guess he kind of liked it. And Vlad, nothing. So Vlad does not give a fuck about Christian and the patriarchy.
Hey, you took the words right out of my mouth.
All right. Well, Robert, since you gave this at least some type of half thumbs up, We want to give some comments on Christian here before I give my reasoning for why I actually think this is genius.
Yeah, I mean, Christian wanted to show how a father takes an L, right? And how they should react to it. And this is an example of how they should do it. He's, like, this is how a good father responds to taking an L in life. and also how to respond to a son that says, you messed up, essentially. I don't know. It was just an okay segment. I didn't really like it too much, but it was kind of funny.
I feel you. Vlad.
I'll be quick. Go ahead. Do you want me to?
No, you go ahead.
So I was just going to say that I think the only good thing about it is that it seems like it's going to lead up to the breaking up of this whole unit, this weird group. The mom and Nick Wayne and what is the guy's name? The guy that was next to Christian.
Kip Sabian.
Oh, Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian, yeah. It's just such a weird group, hot, I don't even know. I can't even figure out what the point of them. They don't really do anything. They're not very successful. I don't know, man. I think it's time to wrap that up, and yeah, I think this is the beginning of that. So that's the only good thing, and yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Man, I don't see that at all. This is the beginning of the patriarchy. What are you talking about? This is the beginning of the storyline. It's finally starting now. It hasn't started till now.
The previous 2 years has been just a precursor to this. I see.
It was all a build-up. Okay.
It was all a build-up. A two-year build-up for what? And so where's it going in your mind? Where is it going if this is just the beginning? Where it leads to what?
Well, Christian is going to be AEW World Champion. But the way I'm thinking of this is if he cashed that contract in and just won it, it wouldn't have been that interesting a storyline. I mean, it would have been too easy. And I think you could have logically said that he was only given the world title because of his clout and what he's done in the past in WWE. But now I think this gives his character some personality. He's had a big failure. He's fucked up really bad before. I want him, if he's going to win the AEW storyline, to have an arc in this company, not in the past and what he's done in TNA and WWE. So I think this could be something that starts him off. Maybe he gets pissed off and he kind of jumps into that title match and gets involved and just sticks his nose in, because I think if he has this failure and then he comes back and turns it around and one day wins the title. So I think this is the beginning of an arc that I see going. That's why I gave this 2 thumbs up. If it doesn't happen though, and they just basically buried Christian, and that's the end, and they end the patriarchy, that would suck. Then that would suck. If you guys are right, and that's what they're doing, like Vlad saying that they're just gonna end this group, and this has all been a failure, then I'm like, no, it's not going to be that, bro. He's going to get himself back into this title picture somehow. I know it. I feel it in my bones. Tony Khan likes this guy. He's going to make him world champion someday. He's got to do it.
Someday,
and I think
when is this young pup who's going to make him world champion one day. The guy, he could actually retire tomorrow and nobody would be surprised given his history, his injury history, and his age. What are you talking about? He's like 50 years old.
Injury history? What injury history? He's the hardest worker. He outworks everybody.
Oh, good
Get
God.
out of here.
Okay, I'm not going to even comment on that. Okay. All right, let's move on.
We're moving on.
I'm starting to get a headache.
All right. But I liked it. All right, I kind of dug that segment. I will say, I think the drama of it was cool too, with his family and Nick Wayne finally standing up for himself and standing up to his father. I did like it.
Father, okay. Okay, to his father. All right, fair enough.
All right. So let's move along. We're done with modern wrestling for the week. Okay, so let's move on to the good stuff. We got some classics. This is what we live for, Vlad. This is what we grew up with, and this is better. So, 1996. We're in October 1996, October 7th. So we've been doing this for a few weeks now. We've been going at WWF after SummerSlam. There's a link to the whole playlist if you missed any of it. in the description below. But we've also done, Robert, I'm sure you remember this, we've done October 7th WCW Nitro already. We reviewed that on this show on episode 90 of the Malapert Smark Podcast. You were here. So this was 3 weeks away from Halloween Havoc. And we had a big Hollywood Hogan and Macho Man feud going on. Hall and Nash are there. Hall and Nash are going to be on this episode of WWF too, by the way, which is kind of crazy. That they're going to be in two places at once.
Oh, is that right? Is that right, JR?
Razor Ramon and Diesel.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's not Hall and Nash. That's Razor and Diesel. Excuse me. But yeah, Macho Man, some good drama. Well, I'm just showing this to show like the competition, because basically we're at a low point in WWF, a very low point, and WCW is riding on a high, and they just getting Jeff Jarrett in. So Jeff Jarrett, who, Robert, you remember they mentioned last week that they did a segment that they sold out Jeff Jarrett's musical abilities, that he's a lip syncer and all that, and they knew he was going to WCW. So here's Jeff Jarrett in WCW, and they're also going to talk about Double J on this show today. You'll see. They run him down some more. They really fucking talk shit about him. So Nick Patrick as well. So good show. WCW intra WCW wars going on as well. Arn Anderson was feuding with Lex Luger. Glacier, interesting character. I mean, showed that they were trying to do stuff. And they still had the Macho Man. Here's Macho Man, a Slim Jim commercial. Man, WWF, at that time, here's a thought that I had today. At that time, they really had no idea what to do with aging wrestlers. Right? Like nowadays, WWE loves aging wrestlers. They're like, bring them back. We're going to have a story arc. We're going to have a conclusion, retirement match and all that. Back then, they had no fucking clue to do what to do with the Macho Man as he was aging. They're like, no, they can't be like superstars, main eventers anymore. So we're just going to throw them away. You know what I mean? So,
well, which proved to be ridiculous, because he had at least 4 or 5 good more years left in him, based on everything it was
4 or
crazy.
5. No, after they stopped using him, he probably had like 10 more years left in him. Then Hogan too.
Well, yeah,
good years. Sure. Good year. I don't know about good years. Like they couldn't really work in their aging years, but they still worked. But they didn't work as crazy as they did.
I thought Savage was still a really good worker.
Oh, Savage could, yeah. Macho Man or Hogan was being more careful. Hogan was being more careful at that point. But all right, well, let's go through this episode of Monday Night Raw then and see how this company failed really badly. I mean, they're not stepping it up, Vlad. I mean, people are asking this. People are asking the same thing right now currently about AEW. Like, should they step it up because WWF are doing, Cena's heel turn and heading towards WrestleMania? Like, should AEW react and try to do something? And they're like, no, we're just going to do our own thing. We don't care that they're fucking awesome over there. We're just going to, do what we do. And
But in reality, what can they do? I mean, look at the wrestlers they have on their roster, these indie guys. What realistically can they do to make the average fan talk about their company, or not the average fan, but at the very least people that are not invested and watch wrestling on a weekly basis, like the people that come in every once in a while? I mean, they're not going to be able to get the same type of recognition like ESPN or whoever that talks about the Cena thing as well. That was a big story, not just in wrestling. That actually reached. Like I said, it reached ESPN and it reached other places where people were talking about that. So realistically, what can they do? I think
just to step it up, try to make an interesting storyline, try to make some shake it up, turn someone heel. I don't know.
Sure.
But
burn some more houses down.
yes, Robert, you got the idea.
Maybe they should have put set Hangman on fire at least for a couple of seconds.
That would have gotten people talking for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. You're right. There we go.
All right, so I want to do a couple of watch-alongs and reviews some of these storylines that happened on this episode. So me and Vlad, we watched this earlier today. I think we got reviews in there, thumbs up, thumbs down reviews. Robert, you didn't watch it, I don't think, right? But that's okay. Robert see it when he was a kid, actually, so he saw it for real. When he was there.
Probably so did I.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be jumping around on this because I have I got this show kind of mixed up like clips. I got clips here and there, so I have to jump around between clips that I have. This one was a harder one to find for me, but October 7th. So let me start on storyline number 1. Let's see who's coming. Oh, well, so this is a continuation of the whole fake Diesel, fake Razor. I'm gonna put a link to the playlist. I've made a playlist, guys, of this whole story. So we've done like a few episodes, a few weeks of this. So by now they've already introduced the fake Razor and Diesel, and today Diesel, quote unquote, is facing Mark Mero. And the commentators when the show opened, they did mention JR's not here. We don't know where he is. But then when Diesel comes out, he comes out with Diesel. So he's like his manager or valet. Not really, but he does come out with him. So here comes Diesel. Man, Diesel looks exactly like fucking Diesel, man. If they didn't know, like, they could have replaced Diesel one day with this guy. Nobody would have fucking noticed the difference. But that's Kane. That's Glenn Jacobs. And I think I'm going to play a watch-along. Let me take my Okada. Sorry, I got a picture of Okada down there, the Continental Champion.
Bye, Okada.
Bye, Okada. But yeah, I'm going to play a watch-along of Razor Ramon's promo. So this guy, Razor...
Yeah. This was ridiculous.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, this guy... what's his name? Rick Bogner, I guess?
Something like that. I can't remember his real name.
His real name is Rick Bogner. He has since passed on, unfortunately. God rest his soul. Yeah, recently. So here's Rick Bogner acting as Razor Ramon.
As a matter of fact, Razor Ramon is standing by the bad guy. How do you like what you see tonight in Diesel? What do you think?
Yeah, man. Big Daddy Cool is doing all right, Chico. But I think I'm going to take a closer look.
What does he mean, take a closer look? He's got a mind.
That's so fucking ridiculous, dude. The facial inflections are ridiculous.
The way his mouth was already open, the way his jaw was aligned when he was talking, it was absurd. He looked insane. He looked insane. He looked like someone that was literally insane. But okay.
It's hilarious, though. It's hilarious. I would love to interview this guy about doing this role. Oh my God! God rest his soul. I'm liking this, man. I don't know you. I think this storyline is fucking amusing as hell. But
I mean, it's funny in retrospect. It is.
Yeah, in retrospect.
Only in retrospect is this funny.
At the time when this was happening, oh man,
they were getting killed. They were definitely getting killed. Everybody was trashing this.
The real outsiders were on Nitro challenging the Harlem Heat, I think, for Halloween Havoc. So they're on their way to becoming tag team champions over there. But here comes Razor. So he actually does come to the ring after that incredible promo he cut in the back. And Mark Mero does a flip dive on him. So immediately gets involved. And I think Razor gets in the ring and causes a DQ. And the NWO style beatdown. Right? So they basically literally beat him up like NWO is invading WWF. I think they were trying to hint at that too in a way, but there's Sable doing more work than I've ever seen her do, acting really sad and distraught that Mark Mero's getting his ass beat by these guys. Powerbomb, and there they go. NWO and WWF. Can you believe that? All right, reviews. Let's see. Oh, this is the toothpick flick at the camera. This is great. Reviews. Let's see. Vlad and me. I got a half thumbs up from me. Okay. And I got a thumbs down from Vlad. Okay. He's not into this. All right. Any comments you want to give, I guess, just because since we're on the topic, this is the only chance you'll ever have to talk about this match between Mark Mero and Fake Diesel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Obviously, this whole thing was a joke from the beginning. It blew up in their face. They thought they were being cute, or I don't know what the thinking really was. It was just like they really thought they could replace these characters, I guess. I think that's really what Vince thought, in his mind at that time. Like, I don't need Scott Hall. I don't need Kevin Nash. I can just put anybody as Razor Ramon. And I think, honestly, that must have been it. Because otherwise, this is just stupid. But even that alone is stupid. That you could just put any character, any person with any character. The other thing is I didn't like. I think you were just like last week or one of the other. Was it last week that Mero won the Intercontinental title and he had that whole celebration in the ring? That was last week, right?
Yeah. And then this is his first match back.
And this is his first match back, and he gets beat down in the stupid angle that everybody knows is just a mess and a joke. So I know you said like it didn't affect any main angles. Well, yeah, I guess, but in a sense, they were trying to do something with Mero. They gave him the IC title, so they saw something at least. But yeah,
well, my only point was they brought Hall and Nash to do this, or Hall and Nash, Razor and Diesel to do this, mock invasion angle, I guess, in a way. But at least it's not with the top guys. Like, he's not doing it with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold and, Sid or Vader. He's doing it with Mero, I guess. So that's kind of the best. That's the best compliment I could give this. At least they didn't muddy up the top guys. But Robert, I saw you smiling at that Razor Ramon impression. So come on, this must have been entertaining at least in some way.
Okay, in retrospect, yes, but
okay, all right.
I'm trying to think of like if watching it at that time as it was happening, this was awful.
Yeah,
it was really, really embarrassing.
All right, well, let me move on to the second storyline then. Let's see what we got. Not that many storylines. This is just an hour-long show, and a lot of them I'm just going to gloss over, so I'm not going to cover a lot of it in detail. But, this was a fucking funny promo. I think I should play some pictures from this. Vlad gave this one a thumbs up, if I'm not mistaken. I gave it a half thumbs up.
Which is what? I don't remember.
This is the Mr. Perfect video package.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I've seen that package many times before.
What the hell? You love this?
I'm a big fan of Mr. Perfect.
They just show this video package of Mr. Perfect just being too perfect, Robert, doing all kinds of things, playing basketball, hitting a home run. Oh, this one was funny. He threw a football, and then he also caught it on the other side. Like he threw it, and that's how perfect he is. He's like the quarterback and the wide receiver. He commentates. He's a great commentator. Looks great in a suit. Throws a strike. Yeah, I didn't even look at it, but obviously it's a strike.
He does the Steph Curry thing where he just turns around without looking. Okay.
Even on the
even
what is it? Darts. Even darts. Center right in the middle. So, Mr. Perfect. He's facing Triple H in a couple weeks. So, I think, yeah, he's been stealing Triple H's women. So, I don't know. I thought this was a kind of funny, nice, lighthearted.
So
I mean, the gimmick of being perfect. He's very perfect. But I think that's a clever name. It's a good name. It's a good gimmick. But it's to me, he didn't really lose much by coming to WCW and not having Mr. Perfect as a gimmick. Like, he was still a really great wrestler.
I think that was another example of them just thinking that Hennig didn't have much left in the tank, and again being proven wrong. That he had plenty. I mean, he had plenty in WCW, I felt. So, yeah, another example of just thinking like this guy's too old.
Well, he's got from what I was reading, he's got about another month left here in WWF before he.
That's what I'm trying to remember. This Triple H match even happened, and I can't recall it. You're saying he's going to face him in a couple of weeks. I don't know if he does.
Yeah, they're announcing it like the return of Mr. Perfect. So yes, I guess
it happens. Okay.
I guess we'll get there. But
I don't remember it. I have to be honest.
Something happens. Yeah, they do run a little storyline here. There's a couple angles coming up, but we'll see that when we get to it. All right, next one on this one. I don't know if you guys had comments. You feel free to jump in, but otherwise, I'll move on to the third storyline. This is probably one that I'm glossing over today too. The Smoking Guns. I don't think I'm going to play anything from this. Do I have any images from here? What happened? This was a match between the Smoking Guns
and the Rockers.
And the Rockers.
Which was Marty Jannetty and
the New Rockers.
The New Rockers. Marty Jannetty and who was it? Did I say it was Al Snow? I can't even remember who this was.
Al Snow, but his name was like Leaf something or Leaf Ferris or something.
Good God. Yes.
I don't know. Billy Gunn is here. Billy Gunn has a crush on Sunny. Like, I guess his goal is to win the tag titles back so that she'll come back to the stable. Because, she left him when they lost the titles. So
having a crush on Sunny is normal.
at that point in time.
Especially 1996. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, this was a win for the Smoking Guns, Bart Gunn and Billy Gunn, the badass Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass, as he's called. So
That's he will be called.
yeah, daddy ass. All right, indifferent from both of us.
He wasn't scissoring yet.
There were no scissors at this time.
Yeah.
All right, nothing interesting going on here for us. So this is a dead spot in the show for a 1 hour show. That was kind of weak, right? And they're competing with WCW, so not much going on there. I got another storyline that I'm not really going to continue to talk about that deeply, but I don't really like this storyline. It's the one where Jerry Lawler, he already fought Jake the Snake at SummerSlam, but he's still trolling his ass from commentary, calling him a drunk, saying I heard he's drinking again and this and that. I don't know. This one's a little too realistic for me, especially knowing what happened to Jake, if they really need to keep going along with this. But any comments on that, Vlad, or should I move on?
Nah, you can move on.
All right, number 5. Let's see. Oh, this is the Jeff Jarrett thing. So Jeff Jarrett literally just debuts in WCW, shows up in a limousine, and they got a whole segment devoted to trolling Jeff Jarrett on this show. So WWF dragged the departed Jeff Jarrett through the mud as the Road Dogg is interviewed, and they reveal him to be the real talent behind Jeff Jarrett music, I guess. Yeah. So
what's the song? My Baby Tonight, I think is the name of the song.
Well, we gotta play some of this, man. Let me see if I can pull this up. So I'm on storyline number 5. Let me see. This was a clip I had to dig up because I didn't have this clip in my archive, so I had to find this. But this is Road Dogg singing, Robert. So I'll play you a little bit of Road Dogg.
Sound familiar? That's the real Double J, Jesse James, being reunited with his real collaborator, Jim Johnston. They're the duo who should have received credit for the hit song With My Baby Tonight.
So they basically drag Jeff Jarrett through the mud, say, look, this was all lip synced. You thought this was Jeff Jarrett, huh? But look at this.
The song With My Baby Tonight were a lie. Not only was he lip syncing that night, but Jarrett's entire musical career was a hoax.
Oh, man, can you believe they're doing this, Robert? This guy's on the other show. They're really petty, man. This is like Tony Khan took notes from WWF of this era, because it's like something he would do on the way, like the way he tried to troll CM Punk on the way out. Let's see what Road Dogg says about Jeff Jarrett.
Greatest entertainer. He's not even close to being a good entertainer. He can't dance, he can't sing, and like I said, that's not me being cocky. That's me being honest. He cannot do these things, and that's not saying that I can, but I think I can. God gives people talent. You know, you don't just run out at the Blue Light Special and buy a voice and buy rhythm. You don't just do that.
He was the roadie. He was Jeff Jarrett's henchman, right?
Shots fired.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, I wonder if he actually had beef with Jeff Jarrett to do that. Like, because if Vince asked him to do that,
so.
I would say no. I'd be like, no, man, this is too much. Jeff's gonna hate me, right? So,
I mean,
they did.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you talk.
They did mention the angle they had. There was some kind of angle they ran where Road Dogg accidentally cost Double J a match or something, and they try to throw that in there, like as part of this. But really, they were just, talking shit on Jeff Jarrett. Here, I'll play another little clip.
Next week, Jesse James will tell us exactly what went on behind the scenes when Jeff Jarrett ran from the impending scandal. But Jeff Jarrett, you want to come back? The real Double J's got a job for you.
Sure. Together again. You want to drive my Lincoln Town car? You want to tote my bags through the airport? Come on, Jeff. Let's do it. Road Dogg.
Man, how disrespectful. Gosh. All right. Let's see. Vlad, you got to have some kind of comments on this one. Let me give you ratings on this first. As a segment, Vlad gave it a thumbs down. I gave it a half thumbs up just because it's so wild. It is kind of wild, man. But, okay, Vlad, thoughts?
Well, I think I said it before when they first introduced this thing as an angle. It's pettiness. It's more pettiness. It's like, how can we really shit on the person that's leaving our company and going to the competitor. Let's run some stupid thing. First of all, whose idea was it for Jeff Jarrett to be a singer in the first place? Vince, obviously, another stupid idea that he had. I don't even know where that even came from. And then as he's going out the door to the competition, let's shit on him some more. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of that type of, that creative and that type of booking. But I guess this is the first time. I guess the one thing that did come from this is that eventually Road Dogg or Rhodey, as I guess he was, whatever he was known as here, Jesse James, he becomes a character and he becomes somewhat important during the Attitude Era, right? So that's something.
Yeah. This is the first promo I've ever seen, the earliest promo I've seen of the Road Dogg. So yeah, it's interesting in that regard.
That's something of yeah. And obviously he's still with the company now. I think he's like the writer in SmackDown, like the head writer in SmackDown. So, I mean, I guess everybody has to start somewhere, but this was not a good angle.
All right, Robert, I know you didn't watch the show fully, but you saw some clips there. Any thoughts you want to give us?
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. When I think of Road Dogg, I think of that line right there. I don't know, man. This is really because I don't remember this at all, actually. So it's interesting to see him in this different persona. But okay, I don't know. I don't know what rating I would give it. But it's just odd for me. And I do agree that with what Vlad said, this is just petty. I mean, if I was
petty, entertaining at all, or no? Not entertaining.
Not really. Because if I was confident in my own, product, like what I'm pushing out on television, I don't need to stoop to this personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were not entertained, but you telling me you heard this and you were not entertained?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because I'm not into like that style, but whatever.
Like country music.
Sound familiar? That's the real double.
I can't wait to be with my baby tonight. Man, that speaks to me. I love that. All right, I'm gonna download that later.
It's actually not a. It is a catchy song. I will say that.
It is very catchy. Oh, alone. I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight. Exactly.
Sure.
All right.
Sure. Of course.
All right, next one. I think this was the main storyline of the night. So this was the meat of the matter, Vlad. So which was not even that good. So Vader and Sid, I guess, are named as they're gonna fight each other at the pay-per-view, and the winner is gonna get a WWF title shot, right? So Sid is fighting Goldust tonight, who cut a promo, and Cornette, who manages Vader, is mad that Vader, after pinning Shawn Michaels last week, has to face Sid to get a title shot. He's like, why should I have to do that? We beat him last week. We pinned him. So, I commend Cornette because they kind of made him look really goofy at the pay-per-view, getting, swindled by that other manager, Clarence Mason. But here he got some back because he actually did help Vader get that pin, distracted Shawn Michaels, swiped at him with the racket, and then got him the win. So he got actually something tangible to argue for a title shot. As a manager, I thought that was a positive for Jim Cornette. But I guess I'll play some of it. Play some of Cornette's promo. How about a little bit of Cornette for the day, huh, bud?
Sure.
Can't get enough Cornette.
Survivor Series. Whoa. Wait a minute. Why should he have to...
Oh, shit, I got to turn this down, put it in watch-along mode. Give me 1 second. There you go. Zoom in down there. If you guys have iPhone or laptop, you could zoom into the video in the corner. For Android users, you're shit out of luck. Sorry.
Oh, no, you didn't.
He ought to have it already. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because what happened last week here on Raw a couple of months ago would have made headlines all across the world. Vader beat Shawn. But now it's a daily habit for Vader. Because he beat you, Shawn Michaels, in July at the International Incident. He beat you twice at SummerSlam, and he beat you right here on Raw. But never when it counts for the title, because the WWF has protected their merchandising cash cow. You got Shawn Michaels pictures on undershorts and beach towels and everything else to the cover of Playgirl magazine. Vader wouldn't go there.
Oh, there they said they're not giving Vader a shot at the title because they don't want to mess with their cash cow, Shawn Michaels. They don't want to cost him the title. Because if Vader was the face of the company, it would hurt their merchandising. I could
see that.
That's Cornette's argument here. Some argument.
Well, the funny part is he said that Vader wouldn't go to Playgirl. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Vader wouldn't go there because he's a big bad man.
Because he's a big bad man.
Afraid if we got Vader as a champion, then him and his punchy, unattractive manager will destroy all that merchandise. Now, they figure he's going to take on Psycho Sid. So what better way to keep Vader from the title than to make the winner of that match the #1 contender? Well, I got news for you, Psycho Sid. At Buried Alive, October 20th, you're going to be buried. You're going to be in your own private hell because this man ain't psycho. He just plain don't care. And one way or another, he's going to take you out, Psycho Sid. And especially with your own move, the power bomb, the one you stole from him to begin with. The bombs will fall in Indianapolis when the irresistible force meets the immovable object. And then, this man right here is going to Survivor Series. And nobody can deny him his rightful due and his rightful place. He's going to be the World Wrestling Federation champion. I promise you that.
All right. There you go. There's our taste of Cornette for the day. Well, okay, let me just say what happened to finish off the day for this storyline today. So Sid comes out for the main event, and he beats Goldust. So he wins that match. Cornette's there to witness it on commentary, the sheer force of Sid. And then Vader enters. This is the end of the show. So this is like the go home, the last 2-minute stretch, the most exciting part. So Vader enters, and he starts brawling with Sid. And I think he splashes Sid. That looks pretty good for a big guy. Vader does that well, the splash off the top rope. And then Sid no-sells it. So Sid just gets up. I guess, Vader's celebrating like he kicked his ass, and Sid just stands up. Complete no-sell. So I don't know what you think of that, Vlad, or if you have an opinion about that in general. We've seen the Ultimate Warrior do that and other people throughout history. But
yeah,
Psycho Sid, I don't know if you think Psycho Sid is a worthy person to do that, like the Road Warriors or something like that. I don't know. But before I get your comments on this, I think that was it. Psycho Sid chokeslammed Vader, and then they retreated, and Sid ended the night on top. So we got something to look forward to, Sid and Vader for #1 contenders match for next week. And also, in terms of Shawn Michaels, he's going to be facing Stone Cold next week in a non-title match. I don't know if that's really interesting, but they just mentioned that. That really wasn't, no one was there today, Stone Cold or Shawn Michaels. But okay, so what do you think of this Vader and Sid as the main guys on this show to go up against WCW? I guess Vlad gave this a half thumbs up. I also gave it a half thumbs up, so I kind of liked it, but it just didn't seem like it was really that amazing. What do you think, Vlad?
Well, yeah, I mean, at some, at a point, you just gotta change what you're doing, and there's just not at that point yet. I mean, this is not gonna cut it if they want to compete with WCW. Nothing against Sid or Vader, who have been tremendous talents in the past, at least. But I think at this point, they didn't know how to do it yet. Like, they couldn't figure out what they needed, and it just wasn't there. The creative just was not there. The story, the booking, the feel of the show, it was all lacking. Everything was lacking at this point. So, this was just okay.
How about the no-sell? You got any issues with that no-sell, Sid?
Not particularly in that instance. I mean, I don't know if Sid does that all the time. I wouldn't say that of him that I've seen. I think usually he would sell something like that for the most part. And so I didn't have a problem with it, I guess. But yes, if it was a repetitive thing, he was constantly no-selling Vader's Jeff's or anybody's moves, then yeah, that would become an issue. But I don't know if that's one of his things that people are complaining about. So I'm gonna say no, it's okay.
All right. Let me see what we got next. Robert, I don't think you got any thoughts on Sid or Vader or Cornette. I don't know. Anything you want to say about anything we just saw, or should we move on from this?
Move on.
All right, moving along. I got storyline number 7 from this show. Okay, so this is another one that I'm skipping. The Sultan, which is Rikishi. We saw a match of his the other day. There wasn't much. I actually watched this match just to make sure there was nothing in the commentary that might have had anything to do with the storylines that we're reviewing today, but nothing. The only thing we got from commentary was this fool. Fucking
What the?
Bob Backlund just talking like a ridiculous...
An insane person, right?
Ridiculous, insane person. So, okay, I don't know if this goes anywhere or if this is going to last much longer, this Sultan experiment. But the Sultan in this match defeats a guy named Aldo Montoya. So, who for you hardcore wrestling fans, that's just incredible. I don't know if you heard of him, Robert, or no? You heard of Just Incredible?
I know that. I didn't know he went by Aldo Montoya.
Yeah, yep. Got squashed here by the Sultan. So
it was another stupid gimmick.
Yeah, stupid gimmick. I don't know. I don't have a picture of it. I thought I did. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna move on though. Number 8. Let's see. Storyline number 8. Buried Alive. Oh, this is probably their main. This should be like something they're focusing on more. I think heading into a pay-per-view called Buried Alive, right? Yeah. Where they keep saying, JR keeps saying it on commentary. In 2 weeks, somebody's gonna get buried alive. But they haven't been doing much other than sending them out to cut these vignettes at I don't even know if these are cemeteries, but no. I don't. You think some cemetery let them get in there and dig a grave or something, or?
I would probably say not. No.
It's probably just some plot of land that they have somewhere. They made it look like a cemetery. But okay.
For all I know, this is Vince's house. I don't know.
But okay, so Buried Alive is drawing closer. For the last 2 weeks, we've seen them cut promos. I guess Vlad says he's kind of tired of it. It's kind of lazy. They're not doing anything in the stadium. They're just cutting little vignettes. They must have done this all in one day, maybe, and they don't have to work for a month. So, all right, but since we don't have much clips after this to play, I guess we'll just listen to this Undertaker promo. It's probably really short, like a minute long. These didn't really go too long back in the days, but let's see what the Undertaker has to say today.
Mankind. My work here is nearly at its end. As is your existence on this earth. All that's left to do is to fill this grave with your rotting, maggot-infested carcass. You won't have a nice day.
Oh.
And you sure won't.
That was it. That was Undertaker's. I like that. That was pretty good. Should we listen to Mankind's?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, fine. We'll do Mankind's too. Let's see what they say. Man, that was really short. That was like nothing. God. He was just acting scared. I guess for anyone listening on just audio, he fell into the grave that they buried, and he just looked scared as fuck. Anyways, Vlad, you said you didn't see this earlier in the day. You gave an indifferent, but now that you've seen those two promos, would you want to change this to any type of thumbs up?
No, I
No?
wouldn't. No, I don't think so. Well, it was the Undertaker's like, my work here is almost done. I'm like, dude, you've been at it for like a month. What are you? I could have dug 20 graves by now.
Dude, you ever dig a grave, dude? It's not easy to dig a grave.
No, I have never buried anybody. Thank God.
Dude, it is not easy to dig a grave. I dug a grave once with another guy, and it took forever, and we were fucking tired at the end, bro. Tired.
Well, I get it, but it wouldn't take you 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure to dig one grave.
I mean, maybe if you want to do it leisurely and go home, come get some rest and come back and continue doing it. Because I don't think one guy could dig a whole grave. You could, but that'd be a lot of work, man. We dug a grave once for my friend's dog who died in his backyard. So, yeah, man. I even broke the shovel. I fucking shoveled so much that the shovel broke. We had to go buy another shovel. But anyway.
Oh, Jesus. Well, yeah, but still, I mean, they did this 3 weeks in a row, maybe even 4 weeks. I can't remember how many times, but with these vignettes, as you call them.
Yeah, the whole video package. I'll call it a video package. I guess sometimes. I wonder if next week they'll do it again, or if they're going to show up at all for anything in the arena.
So when is Buried Alive? Do you know when that pay-per-view is supposed to take place? If you don't, if you don't have it, on hand.
I don't have it handy. Let me check right now. If you give me 1 second, I want to know how many weeks we are on this.
By that point, Undertaker should be done digging.
Could have built a couple houses at that time.
All right, so we got just one more show, just next week.
Okay, so one more Raw and then the paper.
One more Raw, yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So that's it. I think that'll conclude our review of Monday Night Raw from October 7th, 1996, as we see Big Daddy Cool Diesel on the thumbnail that I have here. Vlad, overall thoughts? I know this is a bad one, so
yeah,
probably give this a thumbs down. Overall, my overall rating of the show.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't anything there. Stone Cold wasn't there. There was no mention of Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels wasn't even there. It was kind of a weak show, and the only mention of The Undertaker and Mankind, which is a good feud, obviously, and I stand by that. But are these video segments that are like a minute? So yeah, this would be a thumbs down.
Well, they did mention the Stone Cold Shawn Michaels match coming up next week as a teaser, non-title match between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold. What do you think? You looking forward to that, Robert? Do you actually want to watch that one or what?
That one I would watch.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. So we're saving that for next week. All right, then. That'll conclude this episode of the Malapert Smark Podcast. Let's do some honorable mentions real quick before we get out of here. And I think these are just some quickies that I could mention. Oh, this one from Monday Night Raw. I mean, I don't understand what the hell happened, because I was for sure it was Chad Gable. And then they took someone away wearing the mask, and it wasn't Chad Gable. So what the fuck happened there? Any thoughts? What did he like trick us to try to like make us think that there's another person that it was wearing the mask, or what happened? I think Kathy Kelly went up to him and was like, it was definitely you, right? She was accusing him. She's like, it was you. We know it was you. And then like, what the fuck? That was the weirdest thing.
It was very weird. I don't know where that's going. I know he got some magic luchador trickiness from some guy in an alleyway that he paid $500 for. So maybe he had to be in two different places at once. I honestly have no idea where that's going and what that means, and who is it supposed to be? Like, is it not? If it's not Chad Gable, then who is that supposed to be? I don't know. If Robert has any ideas, I
have no idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Kathy Kelly for sure messed up on her approach with the interview because then she ended up looking really bad afterwards.
Yeah, she sure shut up after that. She was like, "Oh, okay." Speaking of luchadors, I heard Rey Fenix is coming. That was that video package from SmackDown. So.
Oh, that's the one that.
With the 4?
Is that the one with the 4?
I don't know. You know what? I'm not sure if that's the one with the 4 because there was another one for Aleister Black. So.
Okay.
Oh, Aleister Black is coming back, so they're bringing back all of it. Well, that makes
Why
sense.
not? Why not, man? Well, we got a lot of hours to fill on these shows, man.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
Soon, and I'm assuming Mero will also be returning maybe at some point. Who knows? Anyways, we'll see. That's a possibility.
I got another SmackDown segment that I like, which was Jade when she was getting interviewed. Very heavy interview, something that we really wanted to see, and then Liv Morgan came and fucked it up, which I thought was awesome. Because it's like, dude, yeah, if I was Liv Morgan and everyone was fucking accusing me of this shit, I would be pissed off too. So I thought it was a segment that totally made sense. So I'm giving that segment praise.
I agree. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just an honorable mention. I kind of like what they've been doing over on SmackDown with the tag team division. Honestly, I mean, Street Profits, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly. At least there's something going on, and they all look like they want it.
I kind of tune out when it comes to the tag team segments in SmackDown. Personally, I watch, but I'm not really like fully invested.
Yeah, I have to agree with Robert there. The matches might be okay. Like some of these guys you could say are good workers. You know, that's up for debate on all of them are. But yeah, no, it's not. This is probably the low point. And they actually ended the show with the title being changed. You know, changing on SmackDown. And now that I mentioned, like, what is the name of that group? The group that won. What is
The Street Profits.
Street Profits. Thank you. Yes. So there we go. I don't. Yeah, not exciting and not good.
Oh, my bad. I guess I wasn't showing you guys what I had on the screen. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right. And then my next one is from Dynamite is Harleygram.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you guys see this one? Robert, did you actually see the clip or not?
Yeah.
You did? Oh, my God. I gotta play it again, though. I gotta play it again. It was, the match was Dralistico and Brian Cage versus Hologram and Hobbs. And Hologram got thrown out of the ring. Right? Oh, here. Shit. Hold on. Here it is. Dynamite, March 12th. And then Beast Mortos was trying to beat Hologram's ass on the outside. And for some reason, Harley Cameron came out of nowhere dressed as Harleygram, which she did as a character on Collision a few times, which was really fucking weird. And then, what's his name? Beast Mortos grabs her arm. Whoa. And then I think Harley Cameron, you know, with her seduction tactics, starts shaking her butt in front of him. And then Dralistico fucks the segment up. Dralistico is like, dude, like Beast Mortos is watching this. He's like, what? He's like, and then Dralistico,
the guy only grunts.
And then Dralistico's like, dude, you're supposed to be helping me. What are you doing? What the fuck? All right. So this was probably my comedy segment of the week, I guess.
Oh. Beast Mortos was horny.
Beast Mortos, baby.
Well, he is a beast. What can I say about that?
My last honorable mention is NXT Roadblock. All of it, because it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta plug our review, me and Robert. Vlad is not in on this. Vlad cannot watch NXT.
No.
He doesn't have the time.
I cannot.
I'll put a link to me and Robert's review in the description because it was a freaking really good show, man. Really good show. Hardys defended the TNA titles, Vlad. TNA tag titles. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
They beat Fraxium. And then Julia and Stephanie. What a card. What a card.
Yeah.
AEW, eat your freaking heart out, dude. This is better than anything AEW can do. On the Moose versus Obafemi. Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez. Ethan Page and Javon Evans in a street fight. And Ricky Saints an afterthought in all this. And of course my boy Eddie Thorpe is doing really great. But yeah, my review, if you guys want to review our review of every single storyline from NXT Roadblock. What's up?
Just real quick. Who won the Moose Obafemi match?
Oh, of course Obafemi did, man. Moose was not going to take that NXT title to TNA.
Oh, it was a title match. It was a title match.
It was for the NXT title, yeah. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Got it. Oh, okay, very interesting though.
Yeah, they've been passing talent back and forth on TNA Sacrifice, which I haven't reviewed yet, but that review's coming out tomorrow night. Watch out for our blog post for that. But yeah, Cora Jade was there, Robert, and she fought for the TNA Women's title on TNA Sacrifice. So, but she didn't get it done. But still, interesting all around. All this NXT and TNA relationship, I think, has been going really, really well. I think it's been awesome so far. One of the best crossovers I've ever seen in all of wrestling history. And then last thing I'll mention, my Evolve review. It's not really an honorable mention. I don't think it was that good. I don't really recommend watching this show yet, but I did review it. So if you guys want to know what happened on Evolve, where the young kids are who are trying to get on NXT, I have a review of that.
Where do these shows take place? They're in the Performance Center? Like, where are these shows actually?
This one, I don't even fucking know. They have another place for this. That's a good question. Honestly, I don't know.
Is there a live audience?
Yeah, it's a really small live audience. Really small, but yes, there is a live audience. But yeah, I mean, not many big names. Luca Crucifino is there. Riley Osborne, Ora Mensa. These are some of the maybe quote-unquote bigger names from NXT. Yeah, but okay. I'm not really recommending anything from it yet. I don't think anything good has happened. So don't waste your time. But if you want to just get a quick peek of what's going on over there and some of the names that are involved, a lot of indie guys, some indie wrestlers, interesting stuff, but nothing really great. But okay, that's all I got. Unless anyone has anything else they want to say, that'll conclude episode number 152.
Real quick, I want to praise the SmackDown crowd in Spain, which was awesome. They were awesome. I mean, they were awesome the whole night, but specifically the Randy Orton entrance, I thought was a highlight. Or they sang his theme. I thought that was really. I mean, it just shows how when you don't have wrestling, in your country for like whatever years, or you want to see it, and these European crowds are just great. They're great. They're tremendous all the time. Every event that they go to Europe, it's always
it's really an event for them.
Yes, it really is like a WrestleMania event. Yeah, it's like a WrestleMania for them because it's so rare.
But they seem to be always enthusiastic about everything. Like, it's not just because it's there only once. Like, they're soccer teams. They go in with the same enthusiasm for every match. I really think they just have different personalities than we do as Americans, Europeans do. Like,
they're just more fun people.
They're more fun. People. They're positive. I think they kind of see it like when someone's coming out, like when LA Knight came out. They just wanted to give him a big pop, like as a friend, to make him feel, make him feel nice. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I felt it was like. It was nice. Like LA Knight opened the show, boom, LA Knight's music. Oh, the whole crowd is going fucking nuts just because LA Knight's coming. It was pretty cool though, yeah. But I think it's just different. Like, I think we could show the same appreciation. We're just jaded here in America.
I think you're right. I think you're onto something.
That's true.
It's not a good country. We all kind of, we're all kind of dicks here.
It's not a fun. It's not a country of fun. That's for sure.
Yeah, everyone here is overworked and underpaid and broke, and so
there it is. It's definitely a country that works its people to death. That's for sure. But I think, and that's why the Europeans are having such a. But it's not just in Europe. But like when they were in Puerto Rico and when they were in, they've been in a lot of different places. Trying to think of everywhere they've been, but I think. I can't remember all the different shows. Canada. All these crowds have different personalities from American crowds. American crowds are just hard. They're hard to impress. I don't know. It's like even teams like sports teams, like they don't really cheer for their team unless they're winning. They're not there like all the time. If they're not winning, they just don't show up. You know what? It's not like that in other countries. They always support their team. So, I'm losing my voice. All right, guys. Well, that was nice. We had some laughs. That was a good show. Show's been going well. We're up to 500 and something subscribers. We want some more. Anybody need some wrestling talk? Subscribe, because,
we got updates coming fast and furious. Everything that's happening in the world of wrestling and some classic reviews for you. So, Vlad, the wrestling expert, Robert, the Frozen Asian, thank you for being on. I'm going to let you guys go, though. It's late at night on a Sunday. Get some rest. I'm going to work on this podcast, edit it up a little bit, put it out by morning, so you guys could check in on that. If you want to listen to yourselves, it should be there by the time you wake up. All right, guys, good night. We'll see you next time.
Turn on the lights, feel the beat. Wrestling tales can't be beat. Join the crew, take your seat. Welcome to the Wrestle Heat. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smarks always high. Fights and myths, so we say. Heroes rise, villains sway. In the ring, night and day. Wrestling talk, come and stay. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smarks always high. Hit the mat, crash and cheer. All the news you wanna hear. Belt and fame always near. With the crew, have no fear. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smarks always high. Catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. With the Smarks always high.